But one of our friends is here. You've heard him on the show many times. In fact, he's been nice enough to let us use his setup at San Diego Comic-Con every time that we're out there. Our pal Randy from NECA Toys. Randy, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, Eric. Congratulations.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming out here. First thing I got to tell you is I'm not going to ask you for the new Ninja Turtles at the exclusive at San Diego because everybody has asked me to ask you to get a pack of the Ninja Turtles.
I pre-ordered mine, so...
See, you're a good boy.
Well done. You followed the rules.
That's right, I followed protocol.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to ask you for that, so... There might be other things, but that one particular one I'm not going to ask you for. Are you enjoying any of the fine beers here to
tasty
sample?
Beverage.
Which one did you get?
It was number 2. It's like a wheat ale with citrus or something.
Yeah,
it's pretty damn good.
You want to try the strawberry?
I would love to.
Take a sip, my friend.
It's hot as hell in here. I would drink horse piss right now.
Well, we're not saying any of the fine beers here are horse piss.
No, that is delicious.
Isn't it?
It's really good.
It looks almost tropical. You know, I had to blow off my vacation for 2 different times, so this is pretty much my vacation right now with a nice tropical drink.
It almost looks like it needs a little umbrella. I'm not going to lie. But it's delicious.
Or some kind of toy.
Toy? Are they making Kinder beer now? No, if I get a chocolate egg with beer in the middle, I'm retiring tomorrow.
Why not? They make it with meth. So
Kinder beer is a great idea.
Right?
NECA and Demented could come together and make the first Kinder beer.
All right, I'll get on it.
So, what's going on with NECA Toys? What are we looking at for San Diego Comic-Con?
I mean, the big exclusives, the Turtles that you talked about, it's a big deal.
Sure.
We've got Newt from Aliens for the 30th anniversary.
That Newt figure's really nice.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
Yeah.
Right? It's one that's perfect for a convention, too, because you're not going to sell a figure of a 9-year-old girl in overalls,
right?
You know, at Toys R Us, but at the con, it works.
Well, you're not trying hard enough, then.
But yeah, it's good. We got a lot of new stuff. You know, we haven't announced or shown it yet, but I'll debut it, premiere it with you. We're doing Preacher.
Yes.
Yes.
What are we
That's
looking
awesome.
at?
So, first 2 figures we'll have on display in San Diego, and it's Jesse and Cassidy.
Of course.
Oh my God.
So we're starting with those, and they'll be on display, prototypes in the booth.
Have you been watching Preacher?
Oh, yeah. Every week.
Are you
it's
liking
awesome.
it?
Yeah. I mean, I love the book.
So did I.
I used to read it like monthly as it came out, and I loved Ennis, so I was a little skeptical about, you know, how it was going to play out, how the show would be, you know, but it's pretty damn good.
It's fun.
I'm very surprised how much I do like it. I think they've done a good job. It's fun working on the toys now. I hope we get an Arseface in there.
I was going to say, when is Arseface
Santa
coming?
Killers, I want.
You got it, because
Yeah.
Funko already has
Killers is awesome.
Funko's already got an Arseface pop out already.
Yeah, those pops are pops. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to be going pretty deep, I think, with it. But yeah, Jesse and Cassidy will be in San Diego. It's a big. No one knows we're doing it, so a little exclusive for you guys.
Nice.
Were you fans of the book?
Yeah, I love
comic
Garth
books?
Ennis. I had read all his Punisher stuff. I read like his War comic, of course the Santa Killers miniseries. The Boys was some weird thing he used to
The Boys.
do.
That's coming out as a show.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, I
that,
think on like Cinemax or Showtime.
And what was the thing? Dix? Was that the private detective thing he used to do?
yeah,
That thing was
he's a
crazy.
twisted man, but
very.
he's genius. I mean, his writing is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. I used to read every single thing he wrote when I had time to read.
right.
But yeah, he's great. So the show's really cool. People should definitely check it out.
Yeah, I think episode 5 of Preacher is on Sunday night.
I'm very excited.
You can watch the Game of Thrones finale, and then you can watch episode 5 of
Actually, they've already watched this because this is airing July 1st.
Oh, sorry.
So,
You've already seen it. I hope you
time
like
travel, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. And, yes, Game of Thrones was amazing finale. And, yeah, episode 6, I can't wait.
I can't believe they did that with
There we go.
Cersei. It's terrible.
Easy fix. So if you've been a fan for a long time, you're cool with the fact that they've been doing Preacher where it's more of a prequel leading up to the comic book rather than starting where the book starts?
Yeah, I mean, so far I don't mind it. Like, if they literally translated the book, then there'd really be no reason to do it in the first place. You
Right.
know? I am certainly excited to see them kind of go on the road trip, like
Of
make
course.
the journey.
Yeah.
But I don't mind the more slower backstory, origin, even pacing.
I
They're
think you
doing the
need
story
that.
very linearly, like because even like the second episode, like the cold open being like the Santa Killers, but him in the 1800s, not him showing up at the diner for the shootout.
right,
you know, it's
right.
like very straightforward.
I just feel like, obviously you read it, so
Yeah.
we know what's going on. I'm watching it with several people who've never read it.
Yeah.
And I would imagine those people, along with most of the audience, is like, what the F is going on
Of
here?
course.
Like, all of a sudden, there's like 1800s of Old West. It connects to nothing, and then you don't see it again.
Right.
And like the stuff with Jesse as a kid, like it
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything to these people yet. So I think it's kind of ballsy that they're really like just throwing random stuff out there, but if you stick with it, there'll be the payoff. And obviously, we know what it all
What the
is.
payoff is, sure.
But yeah, I think it's cool. It's good that they're doing it a little bit different. I wouldn't want it to be a completely literal translation. I think the actors are doing a really good job.
Right.
I think the biggest change is really the Tulip character, and I don't mind. The girl's doing a great job.
I was
She's
really
awesome.
concerned about her going in,
Yeah,
but
me
I
too.
think was it that second or third episode? I think she really sealed the deal for me. I think she's going to do it fine.
Yeah.
When she built the rocket launcher
Yeah,
out of
in
coffee
the
cans,
first-
I was kind of
yeah.
sold. I was like, all right, that's pretty
Yeah,
badass.
it's
She's
pretty
like, sit
good.
back, kids, boom.
And like Jackie Earl Haley as
King Cannon?
yeah, he's perfect.
So
like
good.
it looks just like the way that it was drawn and everything. So yeah, it's cool. I'm digging it.
So you guys gonna get any more like figures down the line? Do you think, or just these 2 exclusives for right now?
Well, they're gonna go to retail, so we're showing them for the first time at San Diego, and then
Okay.
they'll be out at retail probably around the time that season 1's on DVD and Blu-ray and stuff.
Perfect.
And as long as it does well, I want to keep going. I mean, I hope the show has legs. I hope it lasts seasons. I hope more people watch Preacher than Walking Dead, because I think Preacher's going to be a better show in the long run.
I think so.
It is already.
Oh, you didn't like the Negan ending?
No, did anyone like the Negan ending?
I don't
no,
think anyone
no.
liked the Negan
People hated the Negan ending so much that they're trying to spoil it, and AMC was trying to sue those people to prevent them
That
from
is true.
spoiling
Yeah,
it.
they're suing some of the major fan sites for. It's not even that they're spoiling. Like, this is our prediction of what we think is going to happen at the beginning.
they're
of
getting
next
cease
season,
and desist
and they're
letters.
they're getting.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I'll say,
insane.
like, I'm a big fan of Walking Dead. I love the comics. I love the show, but that was like pretty shitty.
I watched the show, but I'm not a big fan.
I quit after season 3. I tapped
Yeah,
out.
it's the first season with Darabont doing it was
fantastic.
night and day.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just progressively kind of
Yeah.
I punched out when they were still at the farm
yeah.
because that was just taking forever.
See, I love Michael
So
Rooker,
slow.
so I would stick with it as long as he was on, because he was the best part of the show in my
Right.
opinion. As Earl,
Earl,
there.
yeah.
He was great. But
Yeah, and then I came back last season, and then I was like, oh, look, I'm back for all the fun stuff again. I didn't need the last 2 seasons because they gave me the recap, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, didn't miss much.
yeah.
So you got Preacher coming out, which is amazing. Are you going to do? Last time we were in San Diego, you had something hidden in the
Oh, yeah.
structure
Yeah.
that you didn't talk about, but if anybody recognized it, you said just to keep an eye out, some things were coming. Now that's come to fruition, right?
Yeah, we had some Easter eggs. One in particular was like the power-up capsule from Contra
Yeah.
was hidden inside the Predator jungle. So it was
Right.
a little hint that we'd be doing Contra.
Right.
So yeah, I'll probably do some stuff like that again just because it's fun and I like people to take pictures of our stuff and then scour every square inch and pixel of the pictures that make their way online and try to figure out what's there. So we'll probably hide a few things in there again. Just because it's fun, and I know the fans really scrutinize, what we do.
Let me talk about the Turtles, Ninja Turtles exclusive. You were one of the your company was one of the first people to announce any of the exclusives leading into San Diego Comic-Con, because they still haven't listed the panels or the
Right.
guests that are going to be there yet. It really is difficult for us when we're supposed to be down there broadcasting, and all of a sudden it's like, well, we don't know who's there yet. We don't know who to talk to.
Yeah.
But the exclusives started coming out a few weeks ago. You guys were on the forefront of that, one of the first ones to make the announcement. But yours seems to have been the biggest one so far, even though other people have said, Kid Robot has that Mr. Sparkle
The Mr.
thing
Sparkle,
that I
sure.
really was excited about, and within that first hour, I couldn't even register for it. It was already gone.
I can get you one because that's part of us too.
Well, we were talking about that, but
See, I told you.
But Matt, I was saying to Matt, I was like, no, I think they don't really do much with Kid Robot. I know it's under the same umbrella now,
Yeah.
but
I mean, we exhibit separately, but we are, NECA is the parent company, and we do own them. So I think I have a little pull. I
You
can
can pull
take
some
care of you.
strings, is what he
Yeah,
said.
I will
Make
gladly,
Erik what he wants.
I will gladly pay for it if I could just get on that list to reserve one for a Mr. Sparkle for the Comic-Con.
You
But
got
that's
it.
not what I'm asking here. What I'm trying to say is that when you announced the Turtles thing, it seemed to be the biggest thing. Like, everybody was floored by the
Right.
fact that you guys were doing this, and there's still more and more exclusives coming out, but everyone still is talking about that.
But
I
we-
would think even more than the movie.
But we've talked about that with Randy and in general in the past, and that's because I think outside of Playmates, right, and you Funko and stuff like that, but outside of Playmates, as far as like traditional figures are concerned, no one has put out turtle figures other than you guys, and yours are some of the best received, at least from classic fans,
Yeah.
and so everybody's been asking you for years when you were coming back to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 8 years. So first, thank you, Erik, because I like to think that's the case too, but I'm a little bit biased, so I don't know.
I am. And look, I think at this point we can say that we are as well. that we've been friends with you guys and done a lot with you in the past, but just even as somebody who knows how to read on the internet, your thing is everywhere that there's a new exclusive Turtle set, more so than any of the other exclusives that have been listed, at least so far.
Right. I think it was really like a perfect storm or the recipe for success, because 8 years ago we did a Turtle set that people still talk about, and it's probably like, the most well-received action figure versions of the Turtles.
I own both
based
versions.
on the old Eastman and Laird comics. So it was 8 years later we returned, and then we decided to do it completely different and do the classic 4-player Konami video game, which everyone in our age group played growing up. Then all the hipsters are playing at Barcade in Jersey City or Brooklyn or wherever.
I used to take a 20-minute walk to the closest laundromat to play that game growing up.
Yeah, I mean, everyone played it, so there's all that nostalgia and fond feelings for that. So we go ahead and do that, and then package it just like the arcade cabinet, and the graphics look like it, and the panel flips down, and it has like the joysticks and the buttons printed on it.
But you guys have been really successful with the video game figures anyway, so this is really like the perfect storm, because it's a property that everybody has wanted to see you return to, and then it's a property it's a style that you've done very well with other things, so it really just merged well together.
Yeah, I mean, we started that video game thing with that 8-bit Jason 3 years ago. So this
all
is
your friends are dead.
Yeah, so this is like the culmination of that. It's like, well, where do you go from there? And we go and take one of the most popular arcade games of all time with one of the most popular licenses, Turtles, and then an 8-year absence for us coming back to it. So I think it did get a lot of traction. It kind of went viral. We did like a cool teaser video that looked like the old opening of the arcade game with the winners don't use drugs and all that stuff. And it's just been fun. The packaging was a blast to do, which we did with Chris Raimo, who's also a friend of the show. And
and he's standing in the room right over there. Hi, Chris.
He's not even listening. But so I mean, it's cool. It's been well received. I think the important thing to mention for the fans is that right now we're only allowed to sell at conventions. We can't sell at retail because it's to protect the Playmates relationship and the mass toy license and all that, but it has gotten so much attention and has been so well received that now I think they're taking a second look at, hey, maybe we really do need to better serve the collector market with these specialty figures that Playmates isn't doing and will never do.
This Playmates makes the Nickelodeon version of the Turtles, right?
Yeah, and they've done some
Are they doing the movie versions too?
The current movie? Yeah.
They are, okay. So they got pretty much the whole
Turtle
market locked
down. Their
down.
market is primarily like, I don't know, 4 or 5 year olds to like 10-year-olds. They're not going after who we go after. It's completely separate, and they have made no attempts to really do anything for the collector.
Court that market,
right? And for them, it's not worth it because they make a ton more money selling to the little kids. There's a lot more little kids that buy this stuff or get it as gifts than the collectors we're trying to sell it to. So they don't want to be in our business, and we don't want to be in theirs. So hopefully we'll be able to peacefully coexist and get out there besides conventions, because as popular as it is and all the stuff you've seen online is certainly an indication of it, we get the backlash from all the angry fans saying, well, if I can't get them, you shouldn't have even made them at all. But it's like, that's not really a good choice either.
Right.
It's like,
that's been one of the great things that you guys have figured out, that when other bigger toy companies like Hasbro, Mattel, something like that, has pretty much the lock on a certain market or version of a franchise, you guys always figure out the obscure or the side way to get in and say, hey, you're not doing this version of it. Can we get that license? Like you said, the 8-bit video games, which, Jason, is still one of my favorites because you figured out the old night scale for doing the color scale for doing nighttime, where it's purple and blue. And having a Freddy figure, a Batman figure like that, having the Jason figure, you did 2 different Freddys from the video game, stuff like that. Right. It was a great way to get around and still be part of that whole culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people do it. I mean, take your favorite DC character, go to eBay or Amazon, and put in that character's name and paperweight. Monogram is a company that has made an entire market out of putting out paperweights that are really just statues, but they call them paperweights.
Yeah.
Jesus. So you have the Turtles, which is the big draw, and I'm sure that sells. You have a limited amount each day,
right? Exactly.
And then that'll sell out pretty fast.
Yeah, we pre-sold about half of them in advance online, and you can just people who pre-sold pick them up at the booth, and then we have an allocation per day. Try to hit as many people as possible, and we're not selling to exhibitors, just attendees and exhibiting professionals, stuff like that, so we don't have a situation where
someone's buying it and then taking it back
Joe's
to their
comic
booth to
store
sell,
is
yeah.
buying it and then flipping it for 2 or 3 times the price down, 4 aisles over.
I want to
see
see a
that.
fight break out because last year, right on preview night, I think it was Hasbro. The cops were involved.
Yeah, over the Star Wars thing. I
Yeah,
think, and the
people
Magic
were
thing.
just punching each other in the face and knocking each other down, trying to get a
But
collectible toy.
That's the reason I don't go to San Diego. I mean, obviously this year I'm going to San Diego, but I haven't gone to San Diego in a couple years because I remember waiting online, and I wasn't even a crazy panel, right? It wasn't the Whedon panel or the walking. It was the Psych panel. Right? Like this,
For USA.
this
On
fucking
USA?
show on USA that nobody watched but me, but I loved it. It was an amazing show. And I saw 2 guys fighting over a fucking like Magic 8-ball that they were giving out on the line for the Psych panel. Like San Diego, it's like being in a zoo,
It is.
but
I mean,
where
there's-
they've let the animals loose.
Yeah, there's too many people, not enough space, and it just gets bigger every
And there's
year.
no control.
Yeah.
There's not enough people. Like, again, I'm going this year, but it's been a while since I've been, and I'm kind of scared.
I think this is my 17th straight, and it's
Whoa.
changed so much.
Oh, sure.
In just the last 5 years, and you go back 10 years, it's not, it's completely different.
I remember one year I was trying to go and get. I really wanted an autograph from Adam Baldwin, the guy who played Jane on Firefly and Serenity. And
he was on Chuck too.
He was on Chuck.
Yeah.
And he's been on a couple things. But he was at a booth, and it was for like a limited amount of time, like 45 minutes, I think. And I was all the way on the other side of the convention from where he was. And a friend of mine, Big Kev, was there at the time telling Adam Baldwin, no, I'm telling you, my friend is coming. He'll be here soon. And as I'm trying to get to him, someone actually pushed me down the escalator. So I show up to his table. My knees are cut. I got like a bruise on my face just to get a book signed. And he's laughing at me, which I guess is
I'd
great.
laugh at you,
but
too.
that's the culture of San Diego. It's like
Yeah.
madness and chaos. I mean, someone checked me down an escalator, and all I was trying to do
If it
was
makes you
get to
feel
the
more
other side of the
comfortable,
room.
I'll be glad to do that when we go this year.
If you touch me, I'll kill you.
All right. But we will we'll do some of the broadcast at the, as I call it, the NECA Pavilion
Yes.
on the floor of San Diego Comic-Con. And you're usually right in that little Main Street row because you're right within walking distance of a lot of the big sellers because we were right near Mattel.
Mattel is next to us on the left. Hasbro is directly in front of us.
Right.
And then to the right is usually like Tamashii Nation's
Yep,
booth
yep.
and whatever, and Mezco's right over there. We're kind of like the mecca of Toy Central, right?
Mecca
there.
of NECA, and
Yeah.
they have 2 floors, so you can if you get on the second floor and you can watch the madness that is going on the common floor. and you go-
observatory.
It's like, all right, I am not doing that. I'm not going near those people. I don't know what that booth is, and you get a feel for the land there. So when we get down there, you're going to have to come back on here with us, obviously, because
Sure,
we're going to be
absolutely.
even if you're not there, we're just still going to broadcast from your section.
My home is your home, and I hide up in that upper deck the whole time. So yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, for people who have never been to San Diego or have ever experienced a con that big, there are people who literally fight on the convention floor over bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Over
Tote
bags. Over tote bags. They give out these big giant bags, and I've seen people get into fights over a Wonder Woman bag.
Oh, those big like human
Yeah, the
size
big huge.
tote bags.
Yeah,
that
you
one
could carry a
carries around?
child in. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people also fight over a bottle of water that somebody dropped.
Well, that's a $30 bottle of water.
I know,
depending on
but
where you
somebody
got it.
it fell out of whatever, and people were kicking it around, and this guy was young kid, maybe not a younger guy, smaller guy. I'll
Sure.
say, went diving for it and almost knocked this lady over because there was a bottle of water that wasn't open.
Well,
and then I guess her boyfriend, who was I don't remember what he was dressed, but there was a lot of metal. Had he kneeled, he probably could have severed the guy's head. And I was just like, I need to go take a
Oh,
break somewhere.
cosplay culture.
So we're looking forward to San Diego, but we got Miami next week.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is while this is broadcasting, we're down. It's actually weird. We're splitting the show up because Giddles and I are in Miami for Florida SuperCon.
Right.
And Matt will be with Chris Raimo over at Heroes and Villains Fan Festival.
I don't know if I'm going.
You're not
I'm
going?
not sure if I'm going. I know
Why?
Stephen Amell is going to be there, and I'm an Arrow fanboy,
But you
and I
love him.
should go.
You love him.
I might give him a hug if I met him in person, but I unfortunately am not going. I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
All right, Matt is going. He will be there. You better tweet out where you're going to be too, so people can come and say hi to you.
All right, I will. If I'm there, I promise I will share.
Why wouldn't you go?
I don't know.
You getting nervous?
I am. If I meet him, I might cry.
What if Stephen Amell knocks you down and kicks you?
I would.
Would that make you feel more comfortable?
It would make me feel better about myself.
All right. Well,
I would
maybe
write that
Matt
down
O-
in my baby book.
Maybe Matt OG will be at the Heroes and Villains Fan Festival. We know our pal Chris, who is I don't know where he is
Somewhere in the room.
He's
He's
hiding.
over there.
He was
We'll talk-
traumatized by
come
the
over
puppet
here.
lady yesterday.
now. He was, yeah. We had this psychopath lady.
He was just showing me pictures and telling me
Yeah,
stories.
and she's
I
like,
got
Good one.
video on
sounded
my
nothing like
Instagram.
Donald
Yeah.
Trump. Nothing whatsoever.
It's awesome.
Hey, Chris, come take a seat over here.
Sure.
We'll
Let's talk
swi-
about the first thing that comes up.
We'll switch.
Heyo.
We'll switch.
Hi guys.
Chris was
time
on the
no
show
see.
last week. Again, the Trump lady was. I forgot what her name is. Alexis.
That was
Alexis?
last night, not
Yeah.
last week.
No, this is airing the following Friday.
Oh.
So, yeah, she
Spoiled the
was-
magic.
Yes. So she was on the show last. She makes this living doing an anti-Trump campaign with a Trump puppet.
It's
Where-
it's Tramp.
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 It looks like Trump, but okay, it's Tramp. The detail isn't too bad on it, but she doesn't have the act or the voice down, and I don't know how she's getting paid to do
I
that.
don't
for a
I don't
living.
know what you were hearing, but that sounded like Donald Trump to me.
Maybe it was just me. Maybe it was my headphones, but she did not sound anything like
Something
Donald
was
Trump.
off.
Close
Something's a
your
little off.
eyes, Eric.
Heroes and Villains Fan Festival at the Meadowlands in Secaucus. You're going to be there. You have your booth set up while this is playing. You're there all weekend. Do you know your booth number, any of that stuff, where you're located?
Yeah, it's 217 is my booth number.
All right, so you're going to have all original art, like you said. You're not doing fan art stuff anymore.
Thank you, Matt.
Will you sign?
You're welcome.
Will you sign boxes of NECA toys if they come around?
Yeah, of course,
Okay.
but that won't happen.
Now we would like to. We would like to
Signs
encourage.
those Chris Longo.
Stop it.
We'd like to encourage that. If you go and pick up anything that says NECA, whether Chris did the artwork or not, just bring it to him and say, "Hey, I heard you on the show. I'd like you to sign this," and he'll gladly charge you $20 for it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I
Okay.
gotta
Are you
feed my
sitting
kids.
next to Chewbacca Mom? Because
Oh,
Is
Jesus
she going to be
Christ.
there?
I don't know.
I hope so.
Well, she's got her own figure.
She does have her
She
own
charges
business.
Why?
$20 for an autograph.
I know
She does.
because who does the Star Wars line?
Hasbro does that.
Thought
one.
it was a great idea.
But
Thought it was a
let me
nice
tell
little
you a
gimmick.
secret, though. Hasbro gave her a Chewbacca figure, and you're like, this is ridiculous and silly, right? I have a figure of Iron Man with my face on Iron Man's body. They have a machine that prints them out for you. It's. I guess it's cool that they gave it to her, but it's really not that big a deal.
Matt's just jealous that he doesn't have his own Star Wars
Well,
figure.
it
I
has,
have an Iron Man figure. I
it
don't
has
need
her
Star
voice
Wars.
on
You
it,
want like a
doesn't it?
Boba Matt.
It has like sound chips of her
I'll take Boba
from the
Matt.
video.
Right.
So
What
it's
is
a
it,
little
just
more special
laughing?
than yours, Matt. Just saying.
Well, nothing is more special than me, but Chewbacca Mom, look, that's fine. She's giving the money to charity, or most of it at least, or to her church.
See, now
or
you're making me
something.
feel bad for making fun of her.
Don't
Thanks,
feel
Matt.
bad. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Well, go see Chris at Heroes and Villains Fan Festival in the Meadowlands. Randy from NECA Toys. What's your? It's NECA Online for your Twitter account.
NECA_toys.
NECA_toys. It's NECAonline.com for the website.
Correct.
To check out everything that they got going, and they got the brand new Ninja Turtles line that they're putting out from the video game, which is going to be the big fought over collectible at San Diego Comic-Con.
And don't forget they're debuting the first look at the Preacher figures. That was an exclusive to us, Eric. That's the most
I know.
important thing.
Will those be ready for the holidays or?
I hope so. That's
Oh.
the plan. We'll see. We'll see.
Any chance on Overwatch figures?
That's all up to Blizzard. I mean, we do Heroes of the
So
Storm
you
with
do
them,
other
and-
Blizzard stuff.
Yeah, we want to do it. We've had conversations. They're kind of, weighing their options, I guess, and we're kind of waiting to hear. We're really jammed right now anyway. We're doing Alien Covenant for next
Right.
summer. We're doing Preacher, like I said. We're doing the next Predator movie. So we have a lot of new stuff going
Coming.
on along with all the classic. But if they want us to do Overwatch, we'll certainly fit it in.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, I gotta say, my friends every time they come over, they love the alien egg 6-pack with the little face
nice.
huggers, and it's pretty sweet.
Awesome. We have a refresh, a different version of that coming out for Halloween. We'll debut it at San Diego. It's also equally as cool and sick. So
Very cool.
That's really cool.